This is Michael Giacchino, the composer.
So,
he all he cares about is music.
no music. Explosions. You'll never hear it anyway. So why do I do it?
See?
Well, a few years ago, JJ said to me, he goes, you know, I have this idea for the opening of a movie, and what I want it to be is just this sign in a factory, and the camera's moving in on the sign, and it said there haven't been any accidents since, you know, for 300 days or so. And then slowly you see a guy coming up, and he takes down the thing and puts it up. He goes, I don't know what the movie is yet, but that's how I want it to start. It's called Super 8. It's a really great film. It's produced by Steven Spielberg. It's directed by J.J. Abrams. So that's kind of cool, actually. I kept thinking, wow, this is all I wanted since I was 10 years old. This is pretty great. I was really excited about this movie because it essentially reflects my childhood. That's what I did all growing up, was just make regular 8 movies and Super 8 movies. Steven Spielberg's movies had a massive influence on me growing up. You know, the work that John Williams and Steven Spielberg have done together over the years is crucial to me being who I am as a person. You know, I grew up listening to those films, and I learned so much just by listening, which helped me a lot in the films that I was making as a kid, all my Super 8 films. They had a huge influence on what I do, and still do today. John Williams is a great storyteller. His music is a reflection of the film's story. You can listen to the score to Jaws or to Raiders and relive the movie just by listening to it. I always loved how he did that, and it was a huge influence on the way that I write, because to me, music is another form of storytelling. The challenge is always to sit down at the piano and come up with an idea or a melody that's going to represent this film. And the first thing I wrote was actually not so much the main theme of the film, it was a motif for the weirdness of what was going on in the film. Then next came a theme for this kind of emerging adolescent love that was blossoming between Joe and Alice. And then the other was the family theme, the theme between the dad, the mom, and Joe. Even though the mother is not present in the film, this music represents her. It's there to remind us of what it was that she meant to these two characters. I've always tried to do something that hopefully becomes iconic and hopefully could be something that when you hear, you go, oh, that's from Super 8.
I couldn't be more grateful to this guy who, when I met, felt like we'd grown up together.
JJ totally would have fit into my group of friends that I had when I was growing up making movies. That's always been kind of the thing that I think keeps our relationship going. It's just that love of making something and then sharing it with people. So then flash forward, of course, all these years later, and to be doing this film, Super 8, which is really a reflection of all that we loved growing up in the movies, in large part due to the work Steven has done over the years. Growing up, what you're hearing in this film really was inspired by everything he gave me when I was a kid. So, thank you.
Thank you.
To be standing on the scoring stage with Steven Spielberg recording the music for this movie, that was a pretty nifty moment, I have to say.
But let me just say the great thing about Michael and JJ in the sense that this new generation coming up and making great movies, they believe in orchestras. And so that's the most important.
Yeah.
We believe this gentleman who keeps
writing scores and you think, well, that was it. That was the best score he's written, and he just keeps doing it. I just want to say thank you to our genius composer, Michael Giacchino.